Alright, hi Bob. I'm going to start at the front of the car and just work my way back. Well, here's the radiators, and fans. We got the coolant system there. There's the overflow tank, all the lines. This is the bundle of wires for the front, the lighting, headlights, turn lamps, and all that. All this right here you're seeing is new. There's the suspension. All of this is new. These are Z06 6-piston calipers. As you can see, a lot of the sanding's been done on the body. This portion needs a little more done. This is all ready for a good heavy coat of primer and then blocking. These seams are all gone. Yeah, there was a seam coming all the way down the side here. There's a seam underneath the bottom here that still needs to be sanded. I never got around to that. But here's the back wheel with 4-piston caliper. The vent's been cut out and the edge has been sanded, but there are still seams here that I haven't sanded. But I've pretty much showed you all the seams that haven't been sanded. Just that back section, and then right here. These have been sanded. A lot of these inner edges have been sanded. Here's the doors, door frame. Here's the latch. See, there we go. This portion right here, if you can see this cut, that's because when I mounted this door, the top of the pillar would hit up here first, and the door really couldn't shut. So that meant that it was improperly poured. It didn't want to fit, so I cut this, which allows it to flex. It just needs to be refiberglassed while it's in place here. These doors are pretty well lined up. They could use a little bit more fine tuning, but they're pretty much there. Here's the inner part here, passenger side. This is a removable panel. Right here is this panel right here. If you remove this one is also removable. That's to the AC compressor. So if that ever has to be changed, which that compressor is new, it's a reman. Now let's open this door. All the panels are in here. This is the panel that gives you access to the air conditioning unit. So I made that panel removable also. This is an access panel that I cut out. It needs a panel made to cover it, but a lot of guys complained that there wasn't really easy access into here once all these were riveted on. So I thought I'd make a removable panel. This is the bundle for the radios for the radio and power windows. You can see the lines running through the tunnel, the coolant lines, and there's part of the shifter, which you'll probably want to get the Brandwood cable shifter. Let's get a look at the motor here. It's all buttoned up, everything's in place, fastened. That's the shifter rod. There's the gauges. I made the gauges where they can be removed. You can see the connectors there. So Thought that'd make it easier while dealing with the construction. This box here, I kept that there to keep the controls for the AC in. I don't want them to get scratched up, but you can see the controls there. AC does work, like I told you over the phone. Here's all the wiring. It's all done. And like I said, the way Factory 5 designed this, there weren't enough circuits. So I added in a second one right here. I think it has like 8. Yeah, I believe so. Here's the one that comes with the kit. So that's what these are right here. This extra bundle, these are all extra circuits. These are powers. Half of them are ignition hot and half of them are hot all the time. I've already used a couple of them. You can see there's two fuses already in. The kit was having you use circuits for, you know, things that it wasn't labeled as. So I wanted all the fuses that were labeled for a certain thing to go there. So that's why I did this, because I didn't like the way they had it planned out. It was kind of crappy. So, all right. Here's from this view. This panel is removable. The holes have already been drilled for this panel that goes across here. So that's all ready to go. Although that panel that goes across here still needs a hole cut in it for the vents to come up. You can see the AC unit right here. And the ductwork just comes off these. And you cut a hole here, and then your ductwork runs underneath the dash. There's an aluminum panel that goes here, then the dash. And they run up underneath. That's pretty much how that works. This is just to clog the gas line so fumes aren't escaping in the shop. But there's the gas tanks. There's the motor, alternator down there. The exhaust I took and had ceramic coated, so it's going to last a long time. There's the computer, fuse box. That's the vehicle speed sensor right there. This wire right here, there's a sensor that goes in right here. This is for the backup lights. So once you throw this puppy in reverse, that sends your signal to your backup lights, completes the circuit. So that's what that is. Just hasn't been hooked up yet. This is the group of wires right here coming back for all the rear lights and everything. Of course, you probably won't need all that. A lot of it will be trimmed off. This right here is the stock bracket for the hatch latch. A lot of guys have done away with this and use the Corvette latch, which is electronic. You just push a button up in the cab and it'll pop. This one is cable driven. A lot of guys didn't like this. They had problems with it. So it's just on here right now to kind of hold the body in place. But I did buy the Corvette latch, so you'll get that. This is a portion that I had to cut out, and so all the other guys, where this transitioned from this lower point and then came up, it was hitting the hatch. When the hatch would come down, it would hit. So this, I cut it out in 2 pieces. So the front portion, which has the hump, is moved back, and then this little flat piece just goes up here and fills in. I will tape all this into place and tell your body guy to double check and make sure that I cut it out enough to move it back so that it doesn't hit the hatch. Now the hatch comes back here and has a lip that turns down. It was poured in correctly. It wasn't at the right angle to match this. I cut across the edge of the hatch and didn't cut all the way through, just enough to bend it into place, and then I've re-fiberglassed it. It still needs just a little bit more fiberglass work done, but now these body lines will match. Okay, I want to show you the wheel here. Here's something that everybody else has had to deal with also. See this very small gap back here and a very large gap back here. or on the front. I've told Factory 5 about this, and they tried to tell me, oh, just pull up on the back of the body when you put the diffuser on, which is that large panel that mounts up under there. It does not work. You only gain maybe a 1/4 inch of extra room here. Fact is, they screwed up. They didn't design the body right. The wheel is not centered. What the guys are doing is going in and cutting out this lip and putting it back in to where you have a nice even gap all the way around. So that's how you fix that. I just never got around to it. I will mount the diffuser on there. If you choose to buy the car, it'll come with the diffuser mounted on. And I'll just put it on with Klinkos. I've got a set of Klinkos I bought. You can have them so that it won't actually be fastened in place. The Klinkos will just be holding it. Here, let me get you a view in here of this whole area. You can see all the control arms, spindle, all that. Right here is where I was telling you about the cam bolt. See the one over there that has the odd looking washer that hangs out real high on the top? There's an envelope that Factory 5 sent that has extra washers. You just double up, so it keeps the bolt from grinding out before it's properly torqued. So that's the fix on that. And I think you might want to double check that these have been torqued. I can't remember if I torqued all these arms down. I think I did the tops, and the bottoms just haven't because I know it needed to be aligned. So that, yeah, that's how that is. I'll just walk around and videotape as much as I can in the time allowed for this video. I think I get 15 minutes before the memory's used up. That down there, if you can see it, is where all the wiring is. The fuse box, all the wiring comes up underneath. And I made, yes, that panel right under there, which is also underneath the fuel tank on both sides, that panel is removable. So, I don't see you ever having to remove it, but if you do, it's removable. And the panels going down the tunnel at the middle of the car, they are removable. So it's just allowing more access if anything needs to be worked on. But I don't foresee it. I just overdo everything. Let me see if I can find anything else you'd need to know about. I started putting the window track in here. It's not actually mounted though. But that's pretty much it, I think. I can go ahead and start it. Actually, the key's inside. I'll start it and show you the gauges, and maybe I'll have my wife come out and she can videotape while I run it down the street and you can hear it.